Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Dear students, Assalamu alaikum. Today we have to conduct lecture number 16. This is Dr. Ijaz Ahmad Tatla, and I am with you for Instructional Leadership and Program Evaluation. This is the course title, and you are from MA Education, Leadership and Management Semester 2. Let's discuss about today's topic, that is supervision and evaluation of the pre-service teachers. You know, pre-service teachers are those teachers who are in teacher education program in order to pursue teaching credentials in public schools or private sector, domestically or internationally. Moreover, pre-service education of teachers means education of teachers before they enter into service as a teacher. During this period of teacher education programs, teaching practice goes side by side while they are getting knowledge about theory papers. Very interestingly, because you are students of Master of Arts in Education, Educational Leadership and Management. So you too are pre-service teachers. You are supposed to be teacher to join the teaching department in future. You are future teachers. That's why on the basis of your this master's degree of teacher education, you will become eligible to become an elementary school teachers. And I think so the practicum or teacher education practice, that is known as the teaching practice, is also a component of your curriculum. In semester 3 or 4, you have to go for 4 weeks teaching practice in various schools and will be supervised by your teachers from the university. That will make able you to practice the theory learned in the class during semester. I think so in this schedule, 4 areas of teaching practice will be offered to you. That might one be the uh, content teaching of mathematics, means sciences and humanities. In sciences, there will be teaching mathematics and teaching science. And in humanities group, you will be offered teaching Urdu and teaching Pak studies. Sure. So in the classrooms, you will be learning the different methodologies of teaching and instructional strategies of teaching of all these 4 subjects I earlier discussed. And in teaching practice, you will be able to uh, uh, practicing the learned methodologies, strategies in the classroom. So your theory will be practiced. You will put it into practice in the school level. And no doubt it will be graded. That is equivalent to take at hours and 100 marks, and you have to pass that. So the pre-service teachers, I believe that you are one of them. You have to go through all this process. Let's discuss the goals and objectives of pre-service teaching. Pre-service teaching is an essential experience in professional education program, as yours is also a professional education program, that is Masters of Education. Although other college courses, activities, and practical contribute knowledge and experience to prospective teacher, pre-service teaching provides the opportunity to experience the demanding and rewarding task of assuming major teaching responsibilities. So they're in the schools where you might be working, you have to uh, practice all those activities you have learned while in the class, and you are supposed to be the prospective teacher. So during in this professional program, as a pre-service teachers, you have to learn about the experiences of demanding and rewarding tasks regarding teaching responsibilities. The pre-service teaching experience is designed to provide a controlled learning situation in which the prospective teacher can put into practice the principles and methods that they have learned. The ultimate goal is to achieve competency in entry-level skills in the teaching profession. College supervisor mean the place, college mean the place where you are learning about all of the activities, all of the skills, instructions, methods to be used in the classroom as a teacher. So at that uh, stage, at that place, the supervisor is known as the college supervisor. What that supervisor do? He or she have to conduct the evaluations. So there are three types of evaluations: formative evaluation, midterm evaluation, and summative evaluation. As in university, in the semesters, you have to go through all these three activities. Let's discuss the first one, the formative evaluation. Formative evaluations are part of every observation visit by college supervisor. They identify strengths and areas of change and are designed to assist pre-service teachers in achieving competency. Formative evaluations are not part of the permanent records. During teaching practice, you are assigned some class in a school, and your class teachers and or any of the teachers from your department, might be from the VNF Education, is supposed to be your supervisor. That will be known as the college supervisor. He or she have to look after you in the classes, how and in what uh, way you are going to practice. You are working as a prospective teacher in the classroom. So during these visits, he is making your evaluation, that is known as the formative evaluation. A midterm evaluation is completed halfway through the placement. The summative checklist is used as the basis of the midterm evaluation. It is not part of the permanent record as well. So to guide the prospective teacher and to make them vigilant about their deficiencies and shortcomings, midterm evaluation is conducted and shared with them. Finally comes the summative evaluations. Summative evaluations are completed at the end of each pre-service teaching experience. They represent a concluding assessment of the pre-service teacher in that particular experience and are part of permanent record. They are in narrative form. Some supervisor may wish to substitute a checklist like the one used by the cooperative teaching for a narrative. So at that time, there is a checklist about about the content you selected, about the objective you made, and it might be included that what type of methodology you opted to teach, what were your gestures during teaching, about your voice, loud or dumb, about your writing skills, speaking skills, and participation of the students, involving students in your lesson, so and so. These all have some marks, and in total, if they are added and have graded, this is known as the summative evaluations. Cooperating teacher formative evaluation is completed in the first week of the placement to help provide discussion topics for conferencing that is done with the pre-service teacher. They identify strengths and areas for change. They are not part of the permanent record. So cooperating teacher are the people who are there with you to cooperate you, to look after and support you towards your teaching methodology and performance in the classroom. Lesson observations. Lesson observations are completed on 3 lessons during the experience. The information helps the pre-service teacher to identify strengths and areas for change. The observations should be discussed with the pre-service teacher and shared with the college supervisor. A midterm evaluation. Cooperating teacher also conduct a midterm evaluation, and it is conducted when completed halfway through the placement. The summative checklist is used as the basis for the midterm evaluation. It is not part of the permanent record. But again, it is to identify the shortcomings and weaknesses of prospective teacher, pre-service training teacher, to train him, to give him certain skills. The summative evaluation is completed at the end of the placement. Here I would like to clarify that what means placement. When you have assigned a certain school, and in that school any class will be assigned you, so this is known as the placement. And with you, because you are the prospective teacher, but to supervise you will be the cooperative teacher. The cooperating teacher is the teacher already working in the school and might be in charge of the class or taking that certain subject for that class. He will be cooperating you in the classroom, and he might be some passive partner, more or less the active partner. So it will be a team teaching. You will be trainee teacher learning there how to teach, and he will be supervising you, supporting you, facilitating you, and your work as your guide there. School administrators. In accordance with the Commonwealth and Virginia's requirements for approved teacher, preparation programs, evaluation by a school administrator is required for each pre-service teacher. The administrator's evaluation form is a part of the pre-service teacher's permanent record. So there is the certain role of the head teacher of or the administrator of that school where you have been placed for teaching practice. They are authorized, they have a certain form, they have taken notes and comments and have to fill the form. That will be the part of permanent record, and it will be the part of the evaluation and uh, will be the necessary part of the file on the basis of which your grade and evaluation has been made by the college supervisor. So up to now, we have discussed the three people: the supervisor, that is the college supervisor, who have to supervise you, and cooperative teaching, that is from school or class teacher, and the school administrator of that school where you have been placed. Supervision of student teacher. Prior to beginning, pre-service teachers are engaged in coursework to make them successful in the classroom that should equip with them the skills, knowledge, and understanding. So in the classroom, you mean pre-service teachers are engaged to learn the skills of teaching, knowledge, how the content knowledge and understanding of that content. The most challenge is supervising pre-service teachers is aiding them in transitioning this formal knowledge into practical knowledge, which is knowledge that puts learning into action. So necessarily, it's very crucial time and important to look after and supervise the pre-service teacher, how they transit the learned skill, knowledge, and understanding to the pupil. As a result, it is the role of faculty supervisors to aid student teachers in translating this learning into 46 actions. Therefore, there is a structure of supervision. The structure of how student teachers are supervised varies based on universities' practices. Most use faculty supervisors who work closely with the mentor teacher to provide feedback concerning classroom performance. So on the basis of these four factors, the structure of supervision of pre-service teachers varies, but more or less it is common practice across the teacher education institutions to supervise the pre-service teachers. Supervisory model. In supervisory model, faculty supervisors, mentor teachers, and student teachers work together to share decision making about student teachers' field experience. Because student teachers or pre-service teachers are in the field, so the faculty members and their supervisor and their mentor teachers are the supervisors are there to participate and sharing with them to making the decisions how and what type of field experiences they have taken from the field and to familiarize the pre-service teacher to these experiences. Motivation and self-efficacy of pre-service teachers increased when they worked with faculty supervisors who were involved, accessible, empathetic, and supportive. No doubt, pre-service teachers uh, feel energetic and motivated when they are being supervised. Their faculty teachers, when they are accessible, the faculty teachers are accessible them to guide them, to support them, and accordingly they have some empathetic attitude and supportive to them. No doubt, all these three components provide energy to the uh, pre-service teachers towards their learning and practicing the good models learned from the teachers in their practices. Supervisory method. Supervisory method faculty supervisors most commonly use with student teachers looks very similar to clinical supervision methods utilized by the principals. So when we say the clinical supervision methods, it includes three stages. The first stage is pre-observational stage. Here in pre-observational stage, pre-observation conferences between faculty supervisors and student teachers. They have some sort of discussions in this uh, pre-observation conferences. They discuss the objectives, they discuss their method, their content, their style of delivery, and support and guide them towards their lessons. Extended observations in which faculty supervisors watch students' lessons. And second phase is when the pre-service teacher is in the classroom and taking class. Then the supervisor sit there and have some observations and guide them after the class, and might be during uh, the ways on which he was teaching and what can be uh, mentored and can be changed, what is the supportive that is appreciated, and where there is a deficiency, it is highlighted and asked them to change that one. And the post observation conferences in which faculty supervisor and student teachers debriefed about the lessons. And after this third stage comes after uh, when the class is finished. So after observation, they again have the conference where the students are debriefed about the lessons. So the previous both things are kept in mind and re-discussed. Post-observation conference is based on the benchmarks made in pre-observation conferences. So there is a tally and take rule up to what extent the things decided in the pre-observation conference they have incorporated or taken into consideration, and what is left and how that might be cooped with. In pre-observation conference, faculty and supervisor do is clarify objectives of the lesson. They discuss activities obtained within the lesson and ask questions about how students will assessed. And in observations, when the supervisor in the class and pre-service teacher is teaching the class and he is being observed, during the lesson, faculty supervisors observe a wide variety of classroom variables, which include teacher behavior, classroom management, student activities with the timelines, student engagement, student interaction, and transitions. So all these things are taken into consideration in the observation. Then supervisors believe they focused on the students' student teachers' abilities to regulate student behavior to the with the use of proximity specific classroom management activity techniques, time management, student engagement. So these four components are necessarily believe that the supervisor believe and that these all four components can be considered by the teacher, pre-service teacher in the classroom. Post-observation conference. During post-observation, supervisors, they asked mentor teachers to be present during this conference. The primary purpose of asking mentors to attend was to ensure all participants, faculty supervisor, student teacher, and mentor teacher. Mentor teacher is the cooperative teacher, uh, had clear expectations of what was observed as well as future professional growth for student teachers. Additionally, because faculty supervisors did not have a deep understanding of the context of classroom routines, mentor teachers could provide feedback specific to classroom norms. Sympathetic sequence of systematic sequence of post-observation conference events are usually three. Number one, reflective questioning. Was it done in the classroom? Constructive feedback. The supervisor have to give feedback to the pre-service teacher, and they have to ask them the questions that reflect his or her strength in the classroom, future growth. So these are the major three things. Moreover, post-observation conferences of the supervisors ask pre-service teachers questions about their performance with an intent of building self-reflection skills. As this sequence of questioning and self-reflection was paramount to frame conversations that would encompass post-observation conferences. Uh, and the second stage is the feedback of the observation. So feedback fit into two categories: low level telling, phrasing, and higher order questioning. And finally, last phase of the post observation conference is devise a plan to promote future growth. Finally, evaluation. Evaluation up to here was the supervision. Now we are discussing about the evaluation. Evaluation is an essential part of the pre-service teaching experience. Responsibilities for evaluation are divided among the college supervisor, the cooperating teacher, and the building administrator. If you do have any question, you are required to listen this uh, video carefully and have a paper and pencil with you where you feel some difficulty and you have some question or queries. Write that, stop listening, write that question and start re-listening. Likewise, finish whole of the video, and after listening it, review your questions you noted. If you are still intact with them, that you need some guidance about them, you are required to post all these questions on the Google Classroom comments from the students. Then I will visit the classroom and will reply these questions there. If you do Thank you and Allah Hafiz.